And he's getting spoon-fed. Remember he's getting spoon-fed by the inspector?
Yeah.
Because after a while, yeah, that too, eh?
You want to know something?
Yeah.
The eyes thing.
That's
That's the part that I remember. Is the
That was
eyes.
real. That was real.
Oh, was it? Yeah?
That was real. He was freaking out. We're talking about the movie Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
That was real.
That's awesome.
It came out in the documentary. They actually had his eyes there, and they were putting drops in there because otherwise the eyes dry out.
Oh,
And
crazy.
he started screaming. He literally started going crazy. So they filmed it. Anyways, so we're live. We're recording.
We are.
And
Live and recording.
we have an agenda, sort of. What's up? So let's
Rob,
talk
you gonna
shop.
start? You go first.
Let's talk shop, photography, whatever other crazy ideas pop into our heads. But I know Judy's got a lot of stuff she's going to share, so we're going to let her go last, and we'll go around the room. So James or I, let's go youngest to oldest and middle age. So meaning James, you go first.
Where did I leave off last time? What's new? You know what?
Man.
Like you said, not much. Breaking fingers and shooting. Lots of shooting.
That's good.
Lots of shooting. Been busy,
Are you?
actually. Yeah, been busy. Things are good. I had a client there this week that I figured out it's probably going to come up in the I guess it is what's new. So I realized that I need to come up with a Hodge logic of facts I need to give my potential clients on what it takes to actually complete a successful shoot, right down to time that I need, with the factor in timing of getting to the job while we're underground, to have the lines of conversation from the higher ups get all the way down to the person who is taking me on site. Just one of those things, even how much equipment I bring and what I'm going to take a picture of it, and I'm going to make up a thing to give to them and say, you need to read this over.
Right.
Because,
I do it.
So planning.
Because the last few have been, just
What happened?
just one of those things where you show up and nothing was planned, the lines of communication dropped somewhere, and nothing was ready. Nothing was ready. Nothing was ready, and I do not like getting paid for standing around doing nothing. I like to get paid for me giving them a high quality product, and it's and as I sat there getting a little not frustrated because I know it wasn't the people I was with's fault, but I was frustrated because again I want to give them a product, and after 3 hours I still had nothing.
That's frustrating.
Because why? Because I built up my name and I built up my brand, so I don't want to give them half-ass shot. So even comes down because I don't think they realize how much it takes to get into how much time is needed to actually complete say one complete machine. I think a lot of them just think just go over there, clickety click, and then go over to the next machine, clickety click, and we're done.
This is really good to know. I got to ask you. Turn your light on towards you. Did you darken your light on your face?
No, it's just a little lamp there.
It went darker and green. Turn it on your face. You look darker and greenier. Something like that.
See, that's why I was gonna use this one here.
All right. When we first tuned in, it looked brighter.
Look right there. That's not bad.
There's that. That good?
Yeah.
I'm digging that light. You're looking Rembrandt. Let me ask you, James, what kind of a shoot was it? Because I think this is a really cool topic, planning. And let me ask you, what do you plan to do, and what lessons did you learn from that? Obviously you're moved to do something, so now what are you going to do with that?
Well, like I said, I'm gonna get something made up I'm gonna have something printed out on my letterhead and everything, and plus an email. It was just planning. It was just I should not have been there on that day. There was just way too much going on. I was supposed to shoot a piece of machinery, but it was still in production. It was still needed to finish the job. So I can't really take pictures of a machine when I can't actually get around it or on, you know what I mean? I can't just shoot it from the ass end because all I got pictures of is an ass end. Right?
That sounds like mining boudoir.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just, and here's the thing, it's not the first time it's happened. It's something that, it's when it comes to machinery and stuff like that. But that's also going to be something that's going to be into my little request side? Do you foresee, the subject being on site when I arrive? Like, is there any complications that could arise? Just so I can plan myself better, so that I don't want to say it's a wasted day, but again, I don't like going away for a full day shoot, not being able to produce enough images that I'm known for and why people hired me to begin with. And I know they'll understand, because it's not my fault either. Yeah. But I'm just thinking somehow maybe I can lessen this occurrence. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's frustrating.
So yeah, I'm thinking that your job, as part of your job as a mining, industrial, commercial photographer, when you go on any kind of a gig, is to really know the potential roadblocks, because it's all about you delivering the goods and being creative and all that stuff. Well, I say creative, you want to have everything set up so you can create the best possible results.
Yeah.
But you, as a communicator, it's almost like you're going to have to take on that role.
I've already I just need to take it on more.
Right. Okay.
What's good about, because with some of my clients, they know how I work. So for the majority, it doesn't happen, because my clients know, okay, like when they book me, they've already allotted enough time to the mine or the machine, because they know how long it takes me, they know the process. Most of them are usually right there beside me, involved in it. So I mean, like I said, it doesn't happen often.
Was this a new client?
Not fairly new, just again, it's one of those things where it's not that they weren't prepared for me, it's that I shouldn't have been there on that day.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing they could have done about it, but it's just they
did not.
Somebody somebody should have just called and say, listen, we're gonna have to reschedule again.
Right.
Which is fine, because rescheduling is a big part of.
Well, yeah, exactly. You have to kind of work around them, right? So.
It's like that time I went to Utah to shoot a piece of machinery and it wasn't there.
You're going to have to go home.
Okay, now that's bad.
That's pretty well what happened.
No.
I shot one piece of machinery that was there. The other one is like, well, let's go.
So, James, it's probably going to be contingent on you to look whomever, probably several departments and/or people, look them in the eye and go, will that piece of equipment be there on that date that I show up? Are you sure? And
I got no problem doing that.
Yeah, I know you do, but I'm just saying that's, you're going to have to ramp that up.
That's pretty well what it's going to be, yeah.
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 And it scares people when they see, ooh, this guy's serious, man. Let's make sure.
Well, you know what? I've had a few things in the last little while where it's like, I'm not a young photographer. I've been doing this for a while now, and I built my name up. And
how old are you?
With my in this industry, I always make the joke, like, who drew the short straw, meaning who's the one that's going to supervise me, because you got to take me around. Don't have to babysit me. You just need to take me to the place where I have to shoot.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, it ends up being like the person who's taking me finds out like an hour before. Like that's what I mean by that. So he's all ticked off.
Yeah.
And usually I don't say anything because, it's my client. I can't say anything. But I have had instances where I've literally just said, listen, I don't need to be babysat. This is not my first rodeo. Like, I don't want you over my head, yapping away and all pissed off this whole shoot while I'm trying to do my job. I just want to do my job and get out. I enjoy my job. I love doing my job. But I don't want you huffing and puffing because I'm taking my time or I'm doing my job. So
yeah.
And I think again, and it's the only time I've ever had to do it. I've done it once, and I don't want to do that again because I don't like being that type of person. And I think that's another reason why I want to bring these fact sheets out, so that it's just basically telling the client, how I do my job, what's involved with it. How much time I need, how much room I need, like time that we need to factor in from traveling from one site underground to the next site. Like we have to factor that into the time. Any complications, backup dates, page time, stuff like that.
Wouldn't you say this analogy is very similar to booking a wedding? I always go over the details of the bride and groom, and they say, they make a suggestion, and I'm like, that's not really going to work.
Pretty much applies to every client.
Every client, every business, pretty well.
Right?
I just never had it in place for mine.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, you have
in place.
You have unique dynamics. You're obviously working in an area we're not familiar with, and it's.
But Judy's right. It's the same thing. And Rob, you're right. It's the same thing as weddings. I think I just need to get some more information out there, almost like an info pack type.
Info pack.
Either an email or something. I just need to get the info on there so the client could know.
Yeah.
So you did a lot of.
Sorry, Rob, because I have had a lot of shoots where, some of them, the smaller companies think I'm literally just come in and go click, click, and click, like, oh, here's Bob working, do a good shot of him. Grab a shot right now.
Yeah.
He's doing that. It's like, they don't get it, right?
No.
So it's just explaining to the client, educating the client. That's all it is.
Yeah. Pick up your camera, point it,
I know.
click the button. You got a good camera there, young feller.
What did I say? What did I say yesterday? I take nice pictures. So I always get that. It's a nice camera. You got a real camera takes good pictures, eh? And I said, no, not the camera. It's the camera. I said, I don't know. I said, I got a $20 rod and reel, and I catch a lot of fish.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
So so other than that, that's nothing new. Just working away, plugging away.
That was pretty cool. It's good. It's good to hear you're busy, man, because busy's good.
Yeah. LinkedIn's been. I really enjoy LinkedIn because it's like Facebook, but it's all.
But it's professional.
It's professional.
I never use LinkedIn. I ignore it 100%.
But that's because the general public is not. That's
the thing. The general public's not in it. Like I don't know how you. I mean, you could get bride and groom from it, but they probably because they see it through their. I don't know because it's all business.
I don't get clients from there either.
Yeah.
My clients.
But for me, it's different because it's like I've subscribed to all the industry talk.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe LinkedIn should be something that I may have to look into.
I think if you go commercial,
and
you kind of have to be on LinkedIn.
I do headshots, executive.
Yeah, see, I don't do anything.
Exactly.
So.
But I'm thinking there might be a way to get, because a lot of people, they still have families and family photography. I don't know. It's the second time I've heard LinkedIn. I heard it yesterday, and now it's like, okay.
Oh, really? I mean, I'm on there. I got like 500 followers.
I'd be starting an Instagram account for your business, not for your name, not under Rob, but
my Instagram is my business, is a business.
And literally just like upload a family portrait a day, man.
Yeah. I've been doing that for 3 months.
No, I know you've been doing that, but I would actually make it on an account all by itself. And start building your followers on that, because that's your younger generation that are on, Snapchat and Instagram right now. They're going to start coming into those roles of getting married and having families, and they're already up there. So that's how they're going to use.
Yeah.
Facebook, I found out with the younger generation is like, almost.
It's falling off.
It's not the top. It's Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook.
Although my clients are still on Facebook.
Yes, your clients.
Yeah. Well, they say Facebook is still the granddaddy of them all.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yeah. For 30 and over especially, I'm finding because most of my clients fall in the 30 to 50-year-old range.
Yeah.
Facebook's huge. Now, when I want to try to hit the younger than 30, Instagram's kind of big for that. So I'm kind of covering both.
Yeah, covering both.
Yeah.
It's cool to hear about LinkedIn. So, do you use Twitter, James?
Yep. I do.
Yeah. That seems to be a good one too, although I ignore it mostly. So it's good to hear you.
I guess I go on it quite a bit, but most of my stuff's just linked to it from Instagram.
Yeah, my stuff all links directly into it.
I want to talk about, before I haven't got much to say about what's been going on in my life, but I just want to talk about what sort of you've been talking about, James. Just throw some ideas out there. It kind of ties into what I've been doing, because when I came down to Costa Rica, I had a bunch of videos shot. I don't think I mentioned this last month, but I think it's pretty cool. So I shot these videos, and then I edited them while I was down here. It gave me something to do. And then I put them on YouTube. I edited them, and then I put them on YouTube, and I put them on my blog. I thought, oh, why not? So I created a video, tips for selecting wall decor portraits. Okay. Right. So that gets mailed to every session. It goes in the email. So it's me talking. That's 6 minutes long. It's me talking about a lot of common things that people ought to know about. Did you guys hear that?
Yep.
So there I am. See, and I got picture scrolling in, and I edited this in Camtasia.
Okay.
So it's really tight. The colors are off because I'm still learning videography, but I'm going to get the colors better next time. It's just me giving information, and one for ferry bookings.
Yeah.
I got one for weddings, for wedding shoppers. People are booking their children. I got one for that. And how I love to shoot newborns, because I don't like doing newborns, you know, with the props and all that stuff. And I explain to them, this is how I like shooting them, with people, you know.
See, again, you're almost in a way, you're pre-qualifying your clients.
Yeah.
I'm managing their expectations.
Exactly.
And if they don't like it, then I tell them in the video, I say, I'll give you the name of another photographer that can do all those props, because I don't do them.
Right.
What you don't see here too, and this is what I thought, sometimes for some of your bigger jobs, I've done this a lot, and I might have mentioned this in one of our videos. I create using, you can use a lot of software, but I use Camtasia again. I create an actual video for clients if I think it's a bigger session.
Right.
Like families, we had a family last summer, and the one family lived in Colorado, so they left, and my wife told her to take a picture of the wall where they're going to hang up the family portrait. So I took a bunch of their images, and I created a video just for them. I put a password on it so nobody else could see it, and I did that at least a dozen times last year to communicate with clients. So if for bigger shoots, it's just something you might want to think about. You know, if you could foresee problems coming up in a particular shoot, you know, and I don't know, maybe the secretary of the mining place maybe her name is Allison or something.
Damn that Allison.
You know, and you know her, and you go, hey, Allison, it's James here. I'm coming by next Wednesday. Now, I know they're going to have the piece of machinery, blah, 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 blah. Can you make sure, and all that, blah, whatever else that you need to say. Just, I find
the thing is,
really,
yeah. And I
works.
I actually send an email like 2 days before, just everything good.
But if there's a bigger job and bigger issues, that's when I do the videos.
Yeah.
Little jobs, you know, the bank manager guys coming in for a headshot. I don't do it for them.
Judy, what about you? You think you do something like that? That'd be good for you. Show off your work.
I think it would be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a video on my website under the About Me section.
Cool. You have one
there.
That
is a professionally done video that shows how a session goes.
Yeah.
And I'm talking.
Professional.
Yes, I had a videographer come in and do it for me.
But do you
Mine
think?
Homemade.
I don't know if I could be wrong here, but do you think that if you did something just more reality-wise? Like just set the camera up. I'd literally just like hit record, set the camera up. Hi, my name's Judy. You know, I'd be your photographer. I just want to show you a little bit around my studio, and literally just talk as yourself.
Yeah, I have thought about doing that. Unfortunately, you guys know I'm still shooting with the D700. It doesn't do video.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna come down and do one for you.
There you
go. I could do my iPad.
I was just gonna. Why wouldn't you just use your iPad or phone?
No, but my
I would, because for something like this, it's not really about the quality. It's about the information.
I was thinking about having my assistant do it.
Yeah.
Because she has a camera that does video.
Yeah.
And she does do video on some of her fashion shoots sometimes. So I was thinking about asking her to do sort of a behind-the-scenes kind of just quick video snippets here and there.
Right.
Cool.
Which I thought would be really cool, and get her to shoot some behind-the-scenes stuff while the sessions are going on. Of course, only with clients who have given full releases, because it doesn't
otherwise you've got to blur them out, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
that's
and I do have a lot of clients that say yes to, having their images online.
The whole idea behind all that is effective communication and taking advantage of every possibility. That's the reason why I do it. So I think it's really good, and it's just something that sort of might apply to your situation, James, when you have occasionally somebody come in or one of your shoots where you shouldn't be there.
Right.
Because something screwed up somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do I want to say, and then we'll get to Judy. All right. I did a night walk the other night. Can you see that?
I saw your
Well, that's cool. That's awesome. You saw that?
Yeah, that's a pit viper, one of the most deadly snakes in the world. You get bit by that sucker, you got 4 hours.
What did you shoot that with? Like a 12 mil, right up close to it?
We did a night walk in Monte Verde, up in the mountains in the rainforest.
That is awesome, Rob.
I'll show you the camera. I have a point shoot on steroids. And,
I would get that. Like that's wall material.
Yeah.
That's like 4,000, 5,000 ISO on a 1-inch sensor.
Wow.
The guide spotted it, and he had his flashlight to the left, and I came over to the right, and I said, "Can you just feather that a little bit?" And I always shoot at 2.8. I think at 100th of a second, and I let the ISO float because I have it on auto ISO. So I didn't know what to expect, and I had it on automatic white balance. I didn't care. They're just travel shots, right?
Yeah.
I'll shoot when I'm traveling, and it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, this turned out really cool, man. It's like even the lighting is awesome. Like,
and we saw a tarantula.
That's
same idea.
Holy shit.
That's creepy ass.
Judy, they got a lot of creepy ass stuff here in Costa Rica.
Yeah. That does yuck.
So I want to talk about this camera real quick because I really don't have a whole lot more to talk about because I'm down here and I'm not really doing a lot. Well, I did book 2 weddings when I was down here, by the way, and I used Skype.
See? You're working.
Skype.
Working.
The same camera, Sony RX10. I was at a blues festival here, and I love shooting musicians, and especially blues. It's my favorite. So this camera here, I shot all these shots, and then these guys were from San Jose. This guy here is a pharmacist. The other 2 guys, I don't know what they are. They all got jobs, right? But there's like 2-3 bands that are from Costa Rica. I was like playing the blues. I found that really amazing. But it's funny because he goes on the microphone. He goes on, "We're going to play you a song from a B.B. King," and then he starts singing like Eric Clapton. It's so cool. But they got these thick Antonio Banderas accents. But look at how sharp that lens is.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really sharp.
Yeah, and I got to talk about this camera for a minute. You might remember James. What's his name? Randy Sarton brought this camera up. So it's the RX10. I paid about $1,400 for it. They've dropped in price. Well, no, I guess they haven't dropped that much. It's a 1-inch sensor. It's got a 24 to 200 2.8 Carl Zeiss lens. The lens does not come off. Okay.
You wouldn't need it to. That's a good lens, right?
No, it's got everything you need. And I beat the shit out of this camera, and it still works like gangbusters. To me, Randy called it the voodoo camera. And for every reason, it just does everything. The only downfall is the ISO can be kind of crappy on it. But as you noticed in that snake shot, the ISO was kind of decent. Yeah. It's got an ISO setting where you can do multi-image ISO, where it'll go like HDR ISO,
really?
And it'll compile all these exposures to reduce the grain. Yeah. It's a pain in the butt. It hogs more battery power. So, anyways, this came out about 3 years ago, and now they got the new RX10 3. Look how much more expensive it is. It's double.
Let me see it.
Okay. Can you see it?
There it is. Dun, dun, dun. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Same camera. Everything else is the same. But it's a 24 to 600.
That's insane.
Now, I see that and I go, that's a joke. That's got to be crap.
It can't be real, right? Yeah.
It can't be real. So I go do some reviews, and everybody is totally loving it. And they're shooting and showing images at 600, and they're all blown away. So I'm like,
I guess.
That's my next camera. Those are my toy cameras.
And it's a 2.4 to 4.
2.8.
If I had that,
this 2.4
to 4.
Yeah, I'd take that on holidays or something, and I would probably shoot more for myself.
Oh yeah,
that's
sure, right?
That's a for yourself camera.
Yeah, exactly, because you're that range of lenses. Like, I hate taking a crap load of camera equipment on me when I'm on vacation.
This is all you need,
600.
man.
I'd love that going fishing. You know, the wildlife and all that. Like a 600. Yeah. Holy crap.
And the video is unbelievable. Autofocus tracking with no noise. It's
wow.
So I wanted to talk
Although
about
that's,
that.
you're looking at B&H's website, so that's
Yeah.
U.S.
That's U.S. dollars. So in Canadian
Yes.
bucks, that's what, $2,100.
About $2,500
Yeah,
bucks.
something like that. Yeah, it's pretty,
So
pretty expensive.
I'm starting to formulate a plan to pick one up. Hopefully by the summertime. But I love taking pictures wherever I go. So and you want to have a half decent camera. You know, James, we
I
used to
never
do
take
that.
a camera on vacation.
Yeah, that'd be like
iPhone.
my kick-ass crapshoot camera.
I know.
Yeah, remember
And, you know,
we
that's what I miss doing. I miss literally going out and shooting for myself.
Remember we started that in 2002? We bought those Canon A72s. You bought one for your wife, and then you decided, she's not getting it.
This is really good. Remember I did that window light portrait of you with you there, remember? That was freaking funny.
We had so much fun, and
we
we
went to
realized
Sedona, we got attacked by a cacti.
we realized the point-and-shoot cameras were really powerful little tools.
Well, we entered image. We certified underwater with a point-and-shoot camera.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
True story.
Which
Okay,
goes to show it's not the camera.
Camera, right?
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
camera. It's all right.
I don't know that I'd shoot a family. I use it on weddings for candid shots and some detail shots.
Details like your rings and flowers and invitations and stuff like that.
Because
Yeah.
you crank that lens out at 2.8, you can get in about 11 inches. It's
Right.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really sharp. All right, let me talk about one more quick thing, and then I'll let Judy go next. Because while I was here, I downloaded a bunch of I'm always into podcasts, and this guy here is the creator of AppSumo. Have you heard of AppSumo? It's like the Groupon for apps. So you can buy a $600 app. They'll have it on special for $79. And it took me a while to figure out what that was all about. Anyways, I found his podcasts, and I started listening to them yesterday. And the guy is a savvy, young
Marketer.
Entrepreneur, marketer. And I love listening to stuff like this because it's like fresh new ideas constantly flowing. So I'm constantly listening to podcasts when I'm driving. So we just did a little trip. I listened to a bunch of these on the way there and on the way back. This is where I heard he was talking about LinkedIn. That's it, James. That was yesterday.
Okay.
They were going on about LinkedIn and how great it was. I'm like, maybe I should look at it. And then you brought it up again. So,
Very
podcast. Joe Rogan, listening to Dan Pena. Dan Pena, he's interviewing this guy. This guy's about 800 years old, this Dan Pena guy.
I'm sure I'd appreciate hearing it that way, too.
He's such a cool dude. He's like a billionaire, right?
His wife dresses him.
Yeah, did you watch that part?
Yeah.
And did you watch the whole thing?
No, I started watching and then we started.
Okay.
I love how he's got Elvis Presley behind him and
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to hear from older guys too who have been around the block. Like when you listen to this guy, he's full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah.
He's got all kinds of problems. Like he's had all kinds of operations. He's got titanium in his arm, and he's got fake knees and shit like that.
Basically.
Well, he's done a lot of crazy stuff in his life. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at him, he's just full of piss and vinegar. He obviously is pretty happy and loves what he does. So there's something to that when you hear that kind of stuff. And I like tapping into that. I just find it's keeps my juices and my creative energy up, and it all helps. It helps the photography business and the marketing.
Sure.
And yeah. Okay, one last thing. Then I'm going to see what Judy's up to. I heard that WPPI was way down this year. Did you guys hear that at all?
No, I hadn't really. I haven't really followed much of what was going on.
5,000 to 6,000 attendees when in the past.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, when in the past, James, what was it, 14, 13?
Yeah. Three times that much. Wow, only that much, 5,000?
That's what I heard. I don't know.
They were at a totally new venue, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Was it the LA Conference Center or something like that?
Not sure.
I don't pay attention to WPPI stuff at all.
But
So
I know a lot of people were disappointed that it wasn't at the MGM Grand.
I wonder why. But
good times,
anyways,
good times back in the day when there was a crap load of people going to those things.
Well, okay, and
Yeah.
the other thing, and I don't know if you guys realized it or not, but it was at the beginning of February.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's usually almost a month later.
okay. Maybe that's an issue. Maybe
Yeah.
not.
Could be it.
Yeah. A lot
Maybe
of
it's
people
from-
didn't want to go in February.
Right
It's too close
before
to
March,
Christmas.
right before March break, kind of too. You know. Right?
That's
I
usually
think-
when it is. It's usually.
I think if that played a role, it was a small role. What I think is a lot of people are getting out of photography. Let me show you one more thing, and then I'm going to let Judy go. This is what we see all the time. I'm going to show you. Hold on.
Ooh. Howler monkeys.
Yeah. It's coming. See all these people right here? See them?
I can't see.
Nope. I don't see them yet.
Right here. See right here? I'm
Hold on.
circling.
Your screen's not caught up yet.
No.
Yeah. Anyways,
I still see hummingbirds and spiders.
Yep.
all right. This is not the image I wanted to show you, but this is the image I'm
I
going to
see
show
where
you.
your little mouse is down there. I can kind of see.
Yeah, your other screen's not up, Rob. There we go. There it is.
Okay? What is she taking pictures with?
Looks like a phone.
Everybody's using their phones. Nikon's reported the first time in decades huge losses.
Yeah.
Sales are down.
Yeah.
People are not buying DSLRs as much as they used to. People are not getting into photography as much as they used to. I think they're disillusioned at the amount of work involved and the amount of dedication and networking and marketing and
It's
suffering that you got to go through.
not a fly-by-night thing, eh?
Yeah, it's not a fly-by-night. It's not as easy.
Fly-by-night.
So
not
they're
if
just
that's
like.
what you want to do as a career. It's
That's
not
right.
a fly-by-night thing.
So the Joe shooter who would have bought a DSLR, he ain't doing that anymore.
No.
I got my phone. That's all
They
I'm
don't
using.
have to.
That's the attitude. People are going there. It's a for real thing. And I noticed it at weddings. I noticed that last year and I'm like, well, this is good. I don't have to compete with anybody because I don't look at them as legit, taking legit pictures. Whereas the guy who had a camera similar to mine, with his flash, he might have on-camera flash-looking stuff.
People using a phone compared to you would be like, somebody showing up at a wedding with a 110 millimeter with your Hasselblad.
Well,
or
it's
somebody
interesting because I don't normally get a lot of inquiries for family photos and maternity and things, but I've been getting a ton.
Yeah. Maybe
And I
this
don't
is
even show that on my website.
Maybe this is part of the reason why, because there's less available.
Less than that's
It
right.
could very well be.
You're attracting those who they appreciate what you offer.
They know me and they know my skill is there. They can see it. So
Yeah, you're not bad.
they're yeah, exactly.
I see
But
a
they're
lot
not-
of
They're asking because they know I'm a professional and they know that that's what I do, and
And you're good.
I find it
You're damn good.
surprising, right? But
I
no,
see a
I
lot
find
I see a lot of the younger generation, they get into photography and then they get some images, throw them up Facebook, people like them, and then they start thinking, oh, I can do this, and then they start their business.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
But then it gets to a certain level where they don't go any forward because it's the aspect of taking good pictures is the smallest part of running a business, right?
Smallest part.
It gets to a point where their photography doesn't carry them any farther.
Yeah.
Right? People are like, okay, and then that's it. They're next thing they don't do it anymore. And I've seen that happen a lot.
For me, for this year, Rob, I have not met with any of the weddings that have booked me.
No kidding.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you suppose that is?
That's scary.
Now they're good, strong referrals, so that's number one, right? But I have a slideshow I send them that's online, and I have a huge brochure that's a PDF that's online.
Okay. All right.
And they know me because it's a strong referral, and they want me.
Cool.
And they book me.
That's good branding.
It's kind of freaked me out a little bit,
Can
right?
I ask
Because
you
I don't
one
have
question
any weddings
about
on my
that?
website.
Can I ask you one question about that?
Sure.
What if they're assholes?
Well,
you look for clues. You look for clues.
But no, I mean, now typically, it's like I kind of know most of these people in a sense, right?
James has got a point, but that's not something I would ever consider.
No, like like the one is a sister of the brother who I photographed him and his wife.
Right.
I did a session, and then his wife's sister, I did her wedding. So it's like they're all kind of family.
Okay, and they all got the 6 degrees of separation in there.
Right? Okay, and like another guy, like him and his fiancée, well, I know him personally really well. So I didn't even think twice about, shooting them. But they didn't come see me.
And something to be said about well, you seem to attract a certain level anyways, so
I think that's true too, right? Because you're consistently attracting the people that are referring you. You're attracting the same people.
Julia Gulia's, James, are a 1 in 12-year anomaly. One of James's first weddings that he shot to our studio. And that was like.
That's a long time ago.
That was your baptism.
Long time ago. And it's like yesterday up here.
Oh, yeah, I got a few good ones too that were like from my first year.
He still
shooting.
has night terrors.
No night terrors. I remember how I felt back then. It gutted me. That gutted me. That literally gutted me.
So, Judy, tell us what you've been up to, because we're going to run out of time. I'm realizing that it's like, holy shit, we haven't even gotten into the... So,
well, I'll just try to go really fast.
That's okay.
So the
Take
one
your
thing
time.
is the move, of course, is happening in a couple of weeks. So moving into the new environment, and
No, we talked about that last month. Summarize it again. Why are you moving?
Well, I'm moving for a couple of reasons. I mean, one is to downsize a little bit because this place I'm feeling it's a bit too big. The other one is creativity. I'm sick of the whole studio environment feel. I want something that's more of a house feel. I think that kind of fits with boudoir a lot better, which is what I do.
Yep.
But it works out that the place I'm moving into will still give me a great setup for studio if I want to put a backdrop up or whatever, because the living room, dining room area where I'm doing most of the shooting has 10-foot ceilings. Because it's an old house. It was built in 1900, so it's really old. So I've got and the house itself has sort of an old world charm. It has all the original moldings and things like that, and I really kind of like that. I think it's going to be cool, and it's reducing my rent by $600 a month. So it's also financial.
I don't remember that being an issue. It seems to me it was something bigger than that, but I can't remember now. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's the creativity side's the big part.
That's the big one. That's it.
Oh, and the fact that I don't really want to shoot as much. I've decided that my price list has gone through a whole change as well, right? To attract the client on the end that's spending $1,000 or more. I don't want the clients that are going to spend less anymore.
Okay.
And then my retouching business is getting busier, so it's kind of balancing that out a little bit. And and this is a house that I'm moving into, 3 bedrooms, so it's a nice size. It's a little semi-detached. It's I've got 1,800 square feet here, and I'm going to about 1,300 square feet there. So smaller, obviously, but my shooting space will not be smaller.
No way.
No, because I'm shooting living room, dining room, which is kind of like a nice big L shape, so I actually have more shoot space, which is kind of
cool.
weird, but that's the way it worked out. And so neat. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a charming little house. I got a nice backyard deck right off the kitchen, and I don't have that here.
No
kidding.
Can you use your backyard at all?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, so and Gracie's the kind of dog, she'll be able to go sit out in the backyard, and she'll like it out there, and and I can cook and barbecue and be right off. It's right off the kitchen.
Nice.
Right, sliding doors right off the kitchen. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it. And the guy that lives downstairs, so there is a tenant that lives in the basement, and nice fellow. and you know, we can hang out, and I feel really comfortable that he's down there. Knowing that there's somebody actually down there actually makes me feel comfortable.
Good.
Knowing that, right?
The man in the basement.
Yeah, the guy in the basement. But you know, I mean, he's a 30-year-old guy and he does security.
Yeah.
So that actually makes me feel really secure, right? Yeah. And he's like, he's offered. He said, if you need something done or like stuff put up or hung, he said he'd come up and help me out with stuff like that. So I think that's really nice. And he's a dog person, so he likes dogs.
He's got a dog. Cool. Does he have a dog?
He's got a cat.
Oh, okay. Maybe they can play.
So that's the big move thing. And
You're
and
excited.
then I did my presentation last week for the PPO.
How did that go?
That went really well.
Yeah?
Really well. Yeah. And got a lot of compliments. So as a result of that, and I wanted to show my new, so the Boudoir Album Company did my new sample, and they were the sponsor at the show. So here's my new sample.
Nice.
It's 11 by 14. Well, 14 by 11 because it's horizontal, you know, and it's got this really nice cover, which I don't know if you can kind of see the fabric on that.
Very
That's
nice.
really
Is it a green or is it a gray?
And no, it's actually gray. It's just kind of coming up.
Yeah,
it's like a
is that like a metallic type print that's on the front?
Yes, they put metallic. Nice. It's acrylic with a metallic print underneath. Right.
That's nice.
So that's like, it's super thick. I don't know if you can kind of see
I
how
can see
thick that is. Yeah.
That's nice.
Really, really nice. And then, you know, you open up, and this is kind of like how it opens. So
just go ahead and just show them.
Just keep going. Yeah, I know. It's like let me see if I can find that middle one.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, what's in the center? How did you do the center?
The center. Okay. The center print is.
Did you make it all one? Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Right?
Nice. The print quality looks really good.
And the printing's beautiful. Yeah, and so the new packages that I'm working on are going to have the book with the acrylic cover and a folio with 2 images that'll have a matching cover, and then a USB key. So it'll be like a collection package.
Very nice.
And so
that's a great image.
This
there
size
on the front.
will be available, but most clients usually go with like 10 by 8, 12 by 9 size. Yeah, but this will be available.
Just, you know what? You just tell them, say, listen, it's your husband. Bigger is better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of more what you would do for a wedding, obviously, size-wise. I think 14 by 11 is a little bit more of a wedding size album, but I wanted something really impressive, and I was telling Rob earlier. So I got that, and I had a shoot the next day after the thing. And that client doubled her order and bought the acrylic cover on the 10 by 8 album.
You want to sell it? Show it.
Yeah, you can't sell it if you can't show it. Right?
She didn't buy the book. She didn't want a book that big, but she bought that style, right?
Yeah.
Like, and the acrylic cover is an upgrade. You have to pay for that, right? So
that's really beautiful.
Yeah, and she had started with a 15-image album and ended up with 30 images.
Nice.
Which is great.
Nice.
So very happy with that.
That's a real nice marketing piece. It just says so much about...
well, it's a statement, right?
Oh,
and that's what I wanted. I wanted a statement. And then I have another new album that I had done previously that was a 9 by 12 vertical. It really looks like an art piece, too. And it's all my nudes are in that book. So those are the 2 books.
Can we see that one?
No.
Oh, come on.
No. But yeah, so it's nice to have those 2 books kind of side by side, and those are the 2 main ones, and that's what I'm going to put in front of them. And then the other size books will be there for me to show them if they want smaller books.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be sitting in front of their faces. So
right. Do they see these books when they come in for their the day of their session?
Well, yeah, because I do same day sales, right? Where'd he go?
Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I thought I heard an iguana.
No, I just dropped my pen cap.
Was that you?
Yeah, but you're sitting like someone's calling up the screen door.
It happens. We had a scorpion.
So they see the books as part of the sales session.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about the fact that you did same day.
Yeah, same day.
I can just see those books being so powerful.
They love it,
nice.
right? I mean,
even if you if you said
boudoir, you don't put on the wall.
no,
right?
But the album says it all.
Yeah, yeah. And then I also say to people, they say, oh, I want the digital files. You know what the first thing I say to them? What are you going to do with the digital files?
Yeah, you're going to fill them up on Facebook? You're going to put it out for everybody to see? Huh?
That's it. So you're not going to do anything with them. I mean, the likelihood is that, are you really going to go to some random place and get your images printed? Because you don't know what the hell they're going to do with your images, right?
Exactly. Well, you know what they're going to do with them, but they upload them.
But seriously. So this particular client that bought the book and everything, she's going to come back and get some fine art prints done through me too, because she doesn't want random prints being printed by somebody else. So if they want something for on the wall, I want them to go through me.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's my next. My next thing is going to be there will be some collections built, and that's one idea. It's going to have the folio sort of thing with the USB key, and then the next collection is going to have prints added to it. Nice. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because I want to encourage people to get fine art prints done. Because I don't like canvas. I don't love canvas. I think canvas is more for family photos and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I like the fine art printing. Yeah. I like the hand mule paper and done like that. So that's what I encourage clients, because boudoir stuff looks beautiful done like that. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. So that's what I want them to get. I want them to get something like that.
Have you ever tried weird printing combinations, like getting a boudoir image printed on metal paper with a linen finish?
No, I've never tried
It's totally contradictory, but just think about that. You know where I got that idea? James, you remember Paige P. from California? She had that framing company.
Yep.
Astronomically successful. Remember her booth? Her and her husband ran the booth at the end of the hall. We had a booth. There was always like 100 people at the booth. It was like, who is that?
Well, you know who does something really cool? Jonathan Penny.
Yeah. Similar idea?
He has a few really unique ideas on.
I found that so inspiring, and there's so many various combinations. Like she does one where it's black and white with a matte spray. I forget. She does something else, and just these odd combinations to make it look, as she would call it, high end.
Right.
And it really got me going. I don't know. Just if you want to get away, obviously.
I do like and I have sold a few. Jonathan Penny does the metallic print on acrylic with sort of like a frame going around like the outside, and it's incredibly beautiful, but super expensive.
Yeah.
And so it's like to offer something like that to the client here because of the exchange rate and everything, and there's nobody in Canada that's doing anything like that, unfortunately.
So you're going to try it. Who's this Jonathan Penny guy?
Jonathan Penny, he's a master printer in New York. He does a lot of the competition prints for WPPI for photographers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does like really beautiful, beautiful printing. Gorgeous.
Go check that out.
Yeah. So it's pricey for us because of the exchange rate and shipping and everything like that. Yeah. So it's kind of not.
What happens when your client is done their shoot and you're going to show them the images? Do you send them away, or do they go into your lobby and or reception area, or you show them those albums while they can peruse?
Okay, so what I've been doing, because of where I live, I send them off to go get lunch, right? So the new format is going to be I will be feeding them lunch.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So they're going to have the option of they'll have a little light menu that they'll get ahead of time, and that'll have like the basics, like fruits or fresh fruit. If they want to have like there'll be a couple of different salads, things that I would eat myself, so like normal. I'll probably maybe make some homemade quiches, like that kind of idea.
Wow.
and
You're
have
really
that sort
ramping
of
up
thing.
the whole experience.
Yes.
Which is just, you know what I mean? Like, which is just increasing the value of the product.
The cost is minimal. Like, I know how to make a really fantastic pie crust. So, like, how hard can it be to make a quiche? It can't be that hard, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm figuring I can make something like that, and I would eat it. So it's not like it's going to go to waste or anything along those lines. And I make a killer Caesar salad. Make my own Caesar salad dressing. Really, really good.
Cool. Rob and I want to come and get a boudoir shoot done so you can feed us.
So, you know, I mean, it's a very simple thing for me to offer this. I think it's simple, right?
So this is new, and is this a part of you've increased your price?
Yes.
Cool. All right.
So
sounds
increasing
awesome.
the price and adding to the experience a little bit.
A little bit of vino.
And what I'm calling it a light spa lunch they get.
It's a good way.
It gives that, you know, feeling of something really. Yeah.
It's got the right vibe, man. It's not like.
No.
It's not like salami and ribs.
No. So, you know, and then, like I said, I'll come up with a menu, and it'll be sort of standard things, and then they can tell me what they want ahead of time.
Nice.
And then I'll have it prepped and ready for them. Yeah.
Do you think
and I'm not going to do enough of these sessions a month. I'm going to max them out at probably 4 to 6 a month max. Mm-hmm. So this isn't going to be happening constantly. You know what I mean? It's going to be kind of a And
if the demand goes up, the price goes up.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Because you don't want to shoot more than that, right?
No, I don't want to. Especially because I'm looking to also make the sales over a certain amount of money. I'm not going to be shooting 100 clients a year. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I'd rather shoot 50 clients and have my sales 1,000 plus.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I'm working towards.
Hot dog, that's over $50,000 gross.
That's it. Well, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make but that's the minimum's 1,000, right?
Yeah.
So
well, plus
that's
there's
what
weddings.
you're going for. Yeah.
And there's
my only
retouching.
And my only expenses in that is so the hair and makeup, they still have to pay for that separately if they want it, because some people don't want it. They have somebody they know who will do it for them. So they still have the option with the hair and makeup, and that'll be an additional that they pay for the day of. And so it's like a spa experience. You're coming in and you can get your hair and makeup done. You can get the whole thing done. But for me, it's more about, so they'll do the shoot, and there's a product credit in the shoot. But for the product credit to be applied, they have to purchase a certain amount of money.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So there's that minimum purchase that they have to make for the product credit to apply to what they're buying. And then the other thing that I'm doing is, so I've got the packages that are the collections. If they pre-purchase the package collection, they get 10% off.
Nice.
If they pre-purchase. So they're pre-committing.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm trying to do to sell those. And then somebody said to me, oh, well, they tend to stick then with what they purchased. No. Because what you do is you say, okay, so if they bought an album that had 30 images in it, pre-purchased it, right?
Yeah.
And I want them to buy 40 or I want them to upgrade, they get 10% off their upgrade as well.
There you go.
Because they pre-committed to the package.
Yeah.
So this is how you get them to buy more afterwards. So that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to get them to commit to something right away. And the way it'll work is, so usually my session fee is a retainer.
Yep.
So if they commit to the package, they pay a percentage of that package up front. So they're committing to it. It's kind of like a wedding, right? Yeah. So I'm treating it exactly the same.
That's smart.
Yeah. And they're getting benefits by saying, okay, I'll buy this ahead of time. But they can't buy just an album ahead of time. They have to commit to one of the packages ahead of time, right?
So if in your session fee you have a credit, they don't hit the minimum. Not that anybody would really think this way, but you do have that minimum thing you just mentioned.
Yes.
So if in their minds, or in general, if they just do not achieve that, that credit is completely going to you.
Yes.
For doing the shoot. That's becomes part of the session fee of sorts.
Yeah, yeah. Hang on, guys. I didn't realize I didn't have my laptop plugged in, so
charge it up.
My battery's low. Yeah, so I'm gonna just.
Meanwhile, Tina's gonna come and say hi. You want to come say hi?
Tina.
Tina's the studio boss. There she
Hello,
is.
Tina.
Oh.
Judy's got to put her battery in her.
Yeah, in the
laptop.
computer.
That's her new studio. She has a case of beer there for the movers. They're coming by in about a week or so. She'll tell you all about that. She's moving to a Century home.
There we go. All right. We're
you
good.
You guys got the memo. Wear teal.
Same color.
Almost.
Oh.
Thanks, Tina.
So yeah. So anyways, that's kind of what's happening with me. So I'm still kind of tweaking the price. I haven't launched the price list yet. The price list is going to be launched May 1st, so I'm actually going to move in. I'm keeping my existing specials as they are, so nothing's kind of changing until 1st of May. And then 1st of May, all of the new formats because I really have to think about the pricing and stuff.
How do you go about thinking about that? Like, do you print it out and look at it and sleep on it?
Yeah, and I've been actually talking to several photographers that are, good friends of mine that are in the States and how they're structuring their pricing, and I've gotten a lot of ideas from them on where I want to go with it because I knew I wanted to do it completely different. Yeah. And and I've gotten such great feedback from them on how to do this that I'm confident this is going to work really well.
That's good. Yeah. That's a good feeling.
Yeah. So
you gotta love that feeling.
It's just I think that the whole pricing, it's a plus two. I have clients that are at that level.
Right.
So there's nothing to say I can't get them. They're going to be there, and I will be able to market to those clients. So, and the next thing I'll be tackling is my website, because I want my website to also project luxury and sophistication. Those are like my main words.
Right.
And I want my website to also fit that, which I think it kind of does it right now, but not 100%.
It sure does.
Are you going to give a spa feel to your website?
What's that?
You're going to give like a spa feel to your website?
A spa, and almost, when I was talking to Katie, who is the one who's done my design work for me in the past, she designed this website, I said to her, I want it to feel almost like they're looking at a high-end magazine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is going to be overhauled, or?
Yes. Well, no, I think we're going to go with a whole, it's a similar format, but it's going to be based on the new ProPhoto base, which also will give me better mobile apps, mobile sites as well. So it's going to have a similar feel, but it's got a few differences that are really nice. And it's like, so when you click on the galleries, it'll go into one gallery that'll have like the different ones, and then it'll have like, if I want to put a feature on, I can put like a feature and have a feature thing up there. So it's like got a lot of really cool, slick things, but she's going to customize it because I want to keep my colors and I want to keep my formats, and there's certain things, like I like my icons for my down there from all of, because those are all customized that she did for me. So we're going to keep all that customization. So it's just going to be rolled over into the new format, into the new site, so to speak. Yeah.
I heard a lot of good stuff about ProPhoto.
Well, this one is a ProPhoto base too, but it's the older version. Yeah.
Can I ask you what it cost you to get on with them, and what you paid your designer roughly, just to give me a sense?
Yeah. Okay. So ProPhoto, I think an upgrade ProPhoto is like $99 or something like that. So that's just to upgrade the ProPhoto base, which goes on top of WordPress, right? And then, because I'm not a new customer, I'm a returning customer, right? And then you can buy designs separately. So what Katie gets is she gets a shell design. from me, okay? And then she customizes it. So she charges about $650 to do all the customization.
Okay, that's pretty reasonable.
So the whole thing altogether costs me about $1,000, I guess.
That's good.
That's pretty good, and it's done. All you have to do is get the images and tell them what customizations you want.
Yeah, yeah. So see that one right there in the bottom corner? This
Bottom
one
right?
down here, bottom right. Yeah, it's called Lux Brand or whatever. So scroll down a little bit more. So that's the design. Oh, keep going down.
Right here.
A little more. Nope, this one. No, keep going. Hold on. Okay, so that one right there that says, Lux Brand, and it's $175. So you're paying that $175 on top of that for the design, pre-design. That's already done. And I happen to really like that style, which kind of is similar to the style I have, but it's a lot more robust. It has a lot of extra stuff in it. Yeah. And I want to make the image that comes up the front is actually going to be a slideshow with images from each type of shoot I do. Because I have 5 different types, right? So I want to make sure that shows really well.
This is not a slideshow?
No, it's not. No.
Right.
And
pretty cool.
So I think it's a very similar feel, but this has a bit more of a magazine-y feel to it, and it has functionality that comes with the new ProPhoto and the new WordPress and everything like that, because that's how all these designs are put together. So
it reminds me of, just looking at the script and all, it reminds me of, remember Allegra? A long time ago when she first got into the scene, that's kind of how her website kind of gave that very
a little bit of that feel.
High-end, professional, clean, artistic, like all rolled into one.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's what I want. So luxury and sophistication. Those are like my keywords. And Katie is really great at taking those keywords and making them kind of work for you. So she's fab. Yeah.
Nice.
She's designed everything. And the thing is, I want to kind of still keep the general feel, because all of my brochures and everything like that fit with this branding feel and color feel. So if we keep it and we match it to the new site, then it will all still flow together, which is really good. Yeah. I
just thought of the themes that I'm going to do, because we're up in Sudbury, Ontario. It's going to be bowling alleys, bingo, and poutine.
Well, I like bingo, so, that's my guilty pleasure.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm trying to find your site on my phone. And
the mobile site is crap.
Shit.
It's really, really crappy.
Let's see if I can get it here.
Hold on.
Yeah. The mobile site is just really plain. It just gives you the menus. You just flip through the menu. It's like pretty boring crap.
Okay, it wasn't your fault. It was my connection that was not.
Oh, okay. But I mean, there is and I mean, when you look at it on an iPad, it looks exactly like this.
Okay, so if you're on a tablet, it's fine, but if you're on a phone?
If you're on a phone, you just get a list of menus, and it's really kind of ugly. And you can't do much with it because it's the old version of ProPhoto. But the new version of ProPhoto is going to give you some really gorgeous options. So
there it is.
Yeah. No, you can't. Yeah, that's it. So that's all you're getting. It's kind of blah, right? I mean, you can go through it. Yeah, it's functional. Yeah, but that's all. It's just kind of functional.
You just have like a nuclear war there, Rob?
What's that?
You just had like a nuclear war there. You just went completely, everything just went red, eh? Just
oh, it's the stupid camera I got. It's
color it did too. You went orange.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, completely. It was like just a wave.
Yeah.
If I do something like that, it changes the white balance.
That was what it did. It changed the white balance on that. Okay. Yeah. Weird.
Maybe try a black.
Yeah, that's it.
Custom white balance from your webcam camera. So, well, that's exciting. So your website on your tablet, which I'm going to go look up right now,
looks just like that.
Yeah.
It does on my tablet. Yeah.
It looks like what we see right now.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty much.
That's cool.
I mean, what it does on the tablet is it brings the squares up a little higher. it cuts into the image a little bit more, but it's exactly the same layout on the tablet. Because tablets will run regular websites, right?
Right. Yep.
Whereas your phone doesn't. Yep. Yeah, your phone doesn't do it. Well, because it's just a WordPress site, so it's going to run just normal. It's not anything that won't run easily on that.
You could have just put WP Touch on as a plugin, which does a fairly good, simple job of converting a WordPress to all. Like it's just compresses it all into a format for your phone instantly.
Does it? I don't know if that works with ProPhoto though.
I don't know, but if it's a WordPress, it would.
I know, but you got to remember that because the ProPhoto is sitting on top, some plugins don't work.
Oh, they won't. You should give it a shot though, because it's free. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, at least in the meantime, it's like WP Touch, WP-Touch in the plugins, and it's what I use on my simple WordPress sites.
Because you have to have mobile functionality for Google.
No, okay. But try it anyway. You never know. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, you're out 10 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's how it appears. So it appears nice on a tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, looks nice on a tablet. But the other thing too is those. So you know those squares down there. Those are generated by the blog. So anything that I post goes up current on those squares. Well, I don't want that.
No way.
No. What I want is I want to feature what I want to feature.
You want to decide.
Yes. So that's what the new site will do that.
Yeah.
Will give me like feature functionality. So even on the blog, when you go into the blog, you can actually feature something really important first. And then all your little squares underneath will be your
Can you select which ones you want where?
Yeah.
In the new site?
Yes. So I want to do that.
My color balance is off. Let me get a read. There we go.
There, that's better. There you go. That's good.
Yeah, I find mobile and tablets are so important, and it's just something they all include. They're all up to date. Places like ProPhoto and.
So Rob, sorry, did you say it did not come up on your phone?
Yeah, no, he got it. He got it. It's just it's ugly.
Okay. No, on the tablet, but on your phone.
Yeah, he got it on the phone. Yeah.
This is what I got on.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what I.
And I mean, you know, it looks Now you got to go back to the color balance thing again.
Custom white balance.
But yeah, it does. And it shows the gallery photos fine.
It looks good on the phone, Judy.
I mean, it looks okay. It's just really blah.
It gives all the information needed. It's just like mine too.
Yeah.
You see room for improvement.
Yeah, there is room for improvement.
Oh yeah,
and the new.
You got something that's still functional.
Yeah, it functions fine, and then the new format with the new ProPhoto and the new design and will give me a much prettier looking finish on an iPhone or whatever. So that's which will be good. Yeah. So anyway,
what's those infographics? I saw one the other day. I don't know if I saved it.
An infographic?
It was an infographic, and it showed how many people were doing their daily stuff online using cell phones, iPads and tablets and computers. And phones were really, really, really high. I couldn't believe it.
I know,
I think it was crazy. And the highest, I believe, was iPads and tablets, and way at the bottom was computers.
I believe it. I have clients who don't use computer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so
thing of the past.
when they have to do their downloads, their image downloads, they go and they use some friend's computer or something. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so this is why I say, what the frig are you going to do with your images then?
Yeah, exactly. What are you going to do with them?
Right? Yeah. So one of my packages and one of the new things that I'm implementing is mobile apps.
Yeah.
And so the mobile app, they'll be able to put on their iPad or their phone, and they can share, and then it'll allow them to download those images in smaller form onto their devices.
Oh, okay.
So they can share the images individually then in Facebook or Instagram or whatever they want, if they want to do that. If not, they can keep them private in their apps, right? And just share the apps with their friends. So that's what I'm at, and that's a bonus piece that you get if you buy a, you have to buy an album to get it, and you have to pay extra. But if you buy a collection, you get the mobile app. So,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
it is pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I miss that? How do you create that app again?
It's a program, so you have to pay. I'm paying for a program right now called myphotoapp.com.
Right.
And it goes in there and saves in there. But Sprout Studio, which is my studio management software, which I talked about before, is going to be implementing mobile apps in their program as well.
Right. So that's not a gallery software, is it?
What?
Sprout?
No, Sprout's studio management software, but it has galleries, it has do my album proofing, it does everything.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it does all the contracts, it does all the billing, but then it also does all this other stuff.
I use Shootproof, and it has a built-in app thing too. I just never use it.
Yeah, Shootproof has it, but Shootproof's apps are not password protected, and Boudoir has to be password protected.
You want that?
Yes, absolutely. So the only person that can access it is the owner when they put it on their phone. Okay.
Cool.
So if somebody else went, they'd have to have the password and everything to use it. So you have to password protect, and Shootproof doesn't have it, because that's a big conversation that's actually come up in the Boudoir group I belong in, is not being able to password protect the apps from Shootproof.
Judy, you sure are smart.
You know, they're okay if you're not doing Boudoir. But if you're doing Boudoir, you have to password protect it. Yeah. So.
I had a question for you. Now it left my brain.
And that's the nice thing about Sprout Studio, is that my galleries and my album designs are all password protected as well. So it's beautiful. So I'm like super excited that they're going to add mobile apps into their system, because then I'll only have one thing I'm paying for monthly, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, reduce your costs if you can, right?
Hugely. That's it. Because, you know, I'm paying $18 a month US for my photo app, which is the same as sticky albums. You might have heard of those too. That's also another one that's expensive. But they're password protected. So you're kind of getting that little bit of extra functionality in there, which is good.
I just remember what I was going to say. It came from the conversation I had this morning with Maggie. I had an epic conversation with her, and she was going on about, if you're not selling, how can you call yourself a photographer if you're not selling prints? Something to that effect. And it was just so powerful.
Right.
It's in reference to what you said earlier about what are you going to do with the digital files?
What are you going to do with it? Like, you have to have something printed. Okay, if you're not printing prints on a wall, what in the F are you going to do with it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out, right? Like, it's kind of crazy. A little bit.
Yeah, she had a meeting at her studio on Monday night, sponsored by Abyss, and a bunch of photographers came over. I don't know if you heard about that, Judy. I'm surprised that you actually didn't go. Could have been mostly.
I'm not in that kind of that circle there, so.
Yeah, that's weird. I should have told you about it. Have you ever met Maggie and been to her studio?
No.
Oh man.
No, I've never actually met her.
We got to fix that. You got to meet her. You got to meet her. Oh man, amazing woman. And there's 3 women photographers that I look at and look up to that are really, really key in my life. You're one of them. Maggie's the other one. And James, you remember Maria from Pittsburgh?
Maria Zauserman, but
remember she bought the bowling alley.
Yeah.
She did Santa pictures last fall. She told me how much she was selling, how much she sold, and it was insane.
Really, eh? Wow.
We're talking over $50,000.
Nice.
How much?
Just in Santa pictures. Over 50,000. Shh, don't tell.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
But that's going gangbusters,
that's awesome,
you know.
Yeah.
She's going full bore, very, very passionate. I look at her, I look at Judy, and I look at Maggie, and I see a high, high level of passion. Probably, if you met Maggie, you would agree that she's top tier Mount Everest.
Yeah.
There's nobody that I know of that is more passionate.
She has a very specific look and feel to her work.
Yeah.
Which I also think is important, right? Like,
she's pushed that brand.
She's got a brand, and it has that look, right?
Yeah.
And that's what she sells. Yeah. And I think
she does
anybody
very,
who's
very well,
hugely
by the way.
successful, that's what they do, right?
Yeah, and she's very artistic. Now, she had a bunch of people over at their studio, and then she reads my emails. Every once in a while, she sends me a reply, and her or Ian, her studio manager, says something about my emails. Judy, do you get my emails?
Oh, yeah, and I read them. Most of them. Yeah.
Well, you should reply more often. I'm not feeling them.
I never reply back. I just kind of
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Back either, but I read them every day.
I skim them to see if it's a subject that is of interest to me.
And I know that's what most people do.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, to me, there's not a lot of stuff that you get that has good content, right? Mm-hmm. Or something interesting worth reading. And there's you, and there's another woman. She wrote a book called Lucky Bitch, and it's all about positive thinking and positive energy and everything. And I get hers, and I read hers.
I gotta go Google her. So
Denise Duffield, I think, is her name, or something like that. And Lucky Bitch is what she wrote.
So Maggie had the event, and yesterday she responded to one of my emails. She said, "I love this email, blah blah." And then she says, "You gotta call me." So she just went on this rant, and she's just sort of upset, but not really upset, but sort of like it's what she heard and saw from this group of photographers that she had over. She's just
bothered her.
Frustrated, you know?
Right.
And it's just like, why can't you get it? It's all about selling, and if you're not selling prints, you're not a real photographer. She could say anything that, if you put it on words on paper, it would sound really mean, but coming from her, never in a million years. It's
no,
just
but
like,
I get where she's coming from.
And she just went on, and literally I called her. She started talking, and I might have said, okay, I see, the whole 50 minutes.
Right.
And she was talking 3 times speed, normal speed. She was so excited. But the stuff she was talking about was really, really cool. And it was all about that, selling and building the brand and some of the ideas that she has and she's bringing into the market. So it's really good to see on the one hand, and it's good to see that it's alive and well for...
Yeah, good for her. That's great. Yeah. I mean, so I did my presentation, right? And
do tell.
I was probably the only one out of the because there was 4 of us who presented. I don't know if you've ever heard of Matt Barnes. He's a commercial photographer, and he was sort of
a good one. I looked at his work. He's nice.
Yeah, he's a really great, really young guy.
Yeah.
But this guy is like killing it commercially, right? Like he's doing, $50,000 jobs is what he's doing, right? He's got a team. Yeah, I mean, this guy's really, really working the commercial side of it. And but I was probably the only one out of the other 3 that talked a lot about my business end of it. And I had people come up to me and they're like, I can't get anybody. Everybody wants digital files. I said, ask them, what are you going to do with your digital files?
They're scared.
Are you going to do anything with your digital files?
They're scared, James.
Well, they're scared.
They're scared to have the conversation because they can't communicate. That's what it is. They're scared to confront or stick up for themselves. That's what it is. And the fact that
they're obviously afraid to sell themselves because it's like if you're telling somebody, if you're telling someone, listen, forget just getting the digital files, fucking buy something from me. Sorry, excuse me.
You're allowed to swear.
Buy something from me. Buy it.
She broke the seal, James.
We found it. We found the secret. We found the secret.
She broke the seal.
Buy it. Like, this is what I have to sell. Buy it.
Exactly.
Because if you don't buy it, your images are not going to do anything. So why even come and see me in the first place?
It's so easy. You either, if you confront, and I don't like using the word confront, but we will use it for this instant. If you confront your client, one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to convince them to buy a product and they don't need the digital files, or you're going to figure out the real reason why they want the digital files, which is like, well, I want the digital files so I can go print them all myself at Costco or something. That's the one or two scenarios.
And
that's
it's like,
the only
then
reason
you're going
why
to pay
they
for
want
the friggin' piece for them.
Yeah. Now, if they sit there and they have the feeling, well, I just want to use it for social media, or I want to send it something, well, then just say that, and I'll give you an email file. Yeah. But I'm not going to give you, like, it just comes down to...
And so then this conversation kind of came up with, so as I was doing my price list, and I'm talking to some of these other photographers, and 3 different photographers, the only way they sell their digital files is you buy the whole thing for $2,000.
No, there you go.
But you got to buy all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't get nothing else but the digital files. And that's it. And I'm like, you know what? That's smart, because
well, you're going to get serious
they can get an album cheaper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They can get an album cheaper. And quite honestly, like if they buy one of my collections, I'm going to include whatever images they put in their album. I'll include the digital files, because it's no big deal to me to include them. They've already bought a printed product. But it's just, like, what do they want them for? Especially for boudoir, because most of them don't show them to anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
So why are they asking? And does it happen to you a lot, Judy, where they ask you that question, or you just hear it from these other photographers?
No, I get at it. Every client wants the digital files, and
how do you deal with that?
I say to every client, why do you want them?
Do you have that anywhere on your website beforehand?
What do you mean? Like
that says, you know, like like right at the top, no digital files sold. Like
no, because I do sell them, right? Oh. But I do talk about in the information that I send them. I talk about why you should get your images printed by me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I do talk.
You sell a lot of digital files?
I sell no, I sell albums.
Okay, but you said you would sell digital files.
I would. Like
Why?
that, but their digital files are included in their album purchase. I mean, they get the files, right?
Yeah,
whatever images they put.
What happens if you didn't give the files?
But if I didn't get them, they probably still would buy the books. I mean, I'm just giving them to them more for safekeeping.
Try it and see.
But it's like, my way of looking at it is, what are you going to do with the damn things? You know, these are boudoir pictures, so these aren't even family pictures.
Do you wonder if people want them for security reasons? They want to have them in their house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you ever get asked that you don't have any copy of it?
And yes, and what's happened is I had, because I don't keep them forever, and I had somebody who contacted me. She never bought anything initially. She kept trying to get a deal, and she came back about 3 years later and wanted her images, and I didn't have them anymore.
No. Her loss.
Yeah. But she wanted to buy the images again, and I'm like, no.
They're gone.
You know, like, I mean, they're gone. That's it. Never mind the fact you're coming back 3 years later. Will you think I'm going to sell them to you cheaper? I'm more expensive now than I was 3 years ago.
If you have packages where you have the digital files included, why don't you offer an upgrade or premium, or just straight out up the price and say, these are your files?
That's what I'm doing.
I no longer have them. I don't have them on site. They're done. You have the only copy. And then, you know, you do get those ones that you ask if you can keep a file or
and so part of that, I now have in my contract that I only guarantee that I keep the files for 90 days.
Yeah, and then get rid of it. And then that's just security.
They don't know I'm keeping them longer?
It's for your own security.
But yeah, that's it.
Well, they know now.
So, you know, I'm just keep the images for 90 days, and you know, like if you want to come back. Now, I mean, I did have a client who came back a year later, and she spent $1,500 on an album.
I had a client come back for a wedding, and I didn't have them anymore, but I convinced them that they didn't need it and they should get a family portrait instead.
There you go.
We're really good friends now.
But you know, I mean, if a client comes back and she couldn't afford it then, and that was because they were remodeling their home, right? So she came back a year later, but she bought a $1,500 album. Right. You know, so there's it's like, I understand that, but like you people, like, and this is what I'm kind of done with apologizing for the fact that I'm asking them for money.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. It's like you either appreciate what I do, and this is that it costs money to get it, and that's it, right? See, because
Can you
previously,
repeat that, Judy?
What, that I'm done apologizing for what I do.
For asking for money?
Yeah, that's it.
Can I ask you, when did that happen?
What, the whole apologizing for asking for money?
Like, when were you done?
That was this year, because
really?
this year, so this is all a culmination of 2016, because 2016 was a really shitty year, and it was like, it seemed I had so many clients. I went from, like, my average sales dropped, because everybody just wanted to just get the digital files, and it was like, I got into kind of a situation myself where I felt guilty asking them for more money.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
This is important. Do you think your mindset affected your reality in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, absolutely it did. I think it was affecting my sales as I went through the year, and it was like, I got to the end of the year, and I thought, screw this. I'm not doing this anymore.
No more fear.
No more. It's like, either you want to pay me this, or you don't get shit.
That's two for Judy.
And that's it. That's it. So it's like, I'm not giving this stuff away, all right? I work my friggin' ass off for these photos. You know, when I'm up there and I'm shooting, I'm trying to get the best of every person that walks in the studio. So what I'm trying to get through to them now is my passion for what I do.
So let me ask you then.
And get them to understand that that's part of the artistic process, right?
What happened where you did the switch? Was there something? You woke up one morning and
no, I think it was an ongoing thing. I think it was like I just was sick of selling nothing.
Did you just wake up one day and go, I'm fed up, I can't stand this anymore? Did you go to a seminar? Did you talk to a shrink? Did you have a conversation with a friend?
No, but I think it was a combination of probably talking to several of my friends, okay? So these are the people that I trust that are in the industry. They're not here. I don't have any, there's nobody really that I converse with here outside of a wedding photographer friend of mine who I do rebound a lot of stuff off him because he's a good business person, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I talk to Steve a lot about business, but I don't really talk necessarily about boudoir because he doesn't do it, right?
Yeah.
So I've got these friends of mine, and they're all in the States, and they're making a killing. They're doing really well. And they're like, the one girl, Beth, she's like, Judy, your work is like 10 times better than mine. I don't think it is, but this is what she thinks, right?
Right.
And she's like, there's no reason you cannot be making, and she's making average $2,000 a client.
Right.
And she's in some farm country in Connecticut making this kind of money. So that's why she said to me, she said, you can do it. It's just we have to you've got to figure out where it is that the problem is, and I'm part of the problem.
Yeah.
Right?
How much are you part of that problem? How much are you like a big part of the problem, or?
I think I'm half of the problem.
It's not the work. It's not the location.
I think the work was a little bit because I think it was being affected by this up here, right?
All right, right.
So that's part of it. So I do think the work, but lately that has not been the case because I think the work that I've been outputting for my clients has been outstanding. I've been really happy with it, and that's been over the last couple of months. It's been like I've been super happy with what I've been outputting, but it's me feeling bad because it just seemed to be getting worse and worse and worse, and I'm thinking, what the F am I doing wrong, right? And it's me asking them. So, and this is not just me. This happens to a lot of photographers.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Right? Yeah.
It's a thing.
I mean, this happened to Sue Bryce. Like, she had a problem asking people for money. And you can go broke doing stuff like that. And thinking, okay, so I tell you, so I sell a 16 by 24 fine art print for $575. That's what I sell it for. So if I say to somebody, okay, well, I'll just throw it in, well, then it has no value.
I'll just throw it in.
I'll just throw it in. Because, I mean...
It's shit all over your work.
Yeah, because
she had frugal syndrome disorder.
Yeah, right. I mean, okay, so I don't know, I can't off the top of my head remember what a 16 by 24 fine art print probably costs me, but let's say $100, right? Yeah. But what about the time and effort and all of the retouching and the beautifying of that image? And, that's my time, and that's my art, because it is a piece of art when it's done and you're giving it to a client. And so here I am, I'm saying, oh, I'll throw it in. Well, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because then it has no value. Yeah, I used to. But, okay, maybe not, the print is just an example.
Right.
But I throw in more images into their book, or I give them a discount. So I'm discounting all of my images. Like I'm saying, basically, they don't have the original value that I told you they had.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's the wrong thing to do.
So you were just cleaning up these little areas where they were obviously problems and dragging you down.
Yeah. And, I mean, it just, you have to stop doing that, right? Like that's the worst possible thing you could do. You're devaluing what you do.
It's almost worse than lowballing because it's insidious, Yeah.
Right? Yes.
It's
because you're just hurting me. I'm just hurting me. I'm not hurting anybody else around me. I'm the one who's getting hurt by what I'm doing, and I'm devaluing my work. And you know what? I've worked too long at this. I've been doing this for 18 years. 18 years in February, right?
Uh-huh.
And my work is worth more.
Yeah.
And I know it's worth more.
Right.
So no more lowball, no more crap.
So you've put this new attitude into play.
Yeah.
And did you feel inside flinchy and like you were nervous?
Nervous, yeah. And I mean, and I will say that I have had some still not so great sales, but that's because I'm still weeding out the cheapy people.
Yeah.
Because I am also doing a client change here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you also have to figure it's not just that; it's also like kind of who is that target. That just little ball of target market, and I'm slimming down that. And
that's kind of scary.
For a bank statement, I need last month's bank statement. And we'll see. We'll see if you can. We'll see if I photograph you.
Yeah, exactly. No, but you know what? I mean, it's not even that. Like the client who I said just doubled her order and bought the 30 image out. She's not rich, but not by any stretch. Okay.
She found the money.
But she found it because she wanted it, right?
Those are the clients you need. Those are the clients you want, right?
So it's not even about the rich clients. It's about the clients that are going to come to me and they know before they come to me, this is how much it costs.
And they want your product. That's just it.
Yeah. And that's the client I want.
Like the weddings that book you and they don't even ask about price. Yeah, we just...
Exactly. Or they don't come see you because they don't have to see you.
Yeah.
They know what you're going to... They know what you're going to offer them, and so it's kind of the same philosophy. But I think this is a very important thing for a lot of photographers, because I think that especially a lot of photographers have been in the industry a long time, and it does a lot of flipping and a lot of changing, and you have to keep yourself current with all that stuff, but you don't want to lose. Like, I feel like I lost momentum last year.
Right.
And I don't want to go.
You don't like that. Yeah. No, you're not ready to go out. No. Yeah, you're not ready to go out.
No.
It's a bit of a roller coaster ride running your own photography business. I guess in many businesses it could be as well. Yeah. I've always noticed that it's always that bit of a roll for most of us, anyways. I'm sure there are some who are totally got it together all the time.
And when you talk to some people that are in the industry, I think you do talk to a few people. I've talked to a few who have said they've come close to quitting a few times.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they found whatever that was creating that negativity and got rid of it.
Yeah.
And that's because I do love what I do.
Now, I'm a little worried about something you said about you're weeding out the clients and you're going after new clients. What if those?
No, I'm not really going after new clients. I'm going after different. It's a different group of the group I have.
Okay.
Right.
Well, what if they're
and
not
there?
How do you know that they're there?
Well, you just have to keep marketing to them, right? Like
you feel pretty confident they're there.
Yes, I know they're there.
Okay.
I know they're there because
it's just a matter of selling them and marketing to them and.
Yeah, so for this month, I had 2 that pre-committed to packages this month.
Yeah.
So
really?
if all I'm going to shoot
is 2.
That's a good sign. Yeah. So if all I'm going to shoot is 2, now I have some cheaper ones this month too because I'm kind of working that out, right, and weeding those ones out of the mix. But what I want is 2 minimum. 4 would be nice, and 6 if I'm busy and I can book them, I'll book them.
Yeah.
But I don't need 6. 4 is kind of
one a week will be just fine, right? One
shoot
a week.
One a week will be fine. But if I only get 2, I'm good with 2 a month too. So it's like you kind of have to sit down and say, like, if I only have 2 a month, but they're spending a couple $1,000s, that's okay.
Yep.
I'm okay with that. And then of course I have the retouching business on top of that.
And that you love doing that stuff, right? That's working out for you. You said you were really busy this month with that.
Really, really busy. Last couple of months, I've had an influx of new clients coming in because I'm starting to get out there a little bit more with my retouching, so that's what's happening. Yeah. So that's more regular clients with lots of work.
That tells me people are selling images.
Yes. Yeah.
Or files.
Yeah. Well, like 3 of the people that I do retouching for, the images I'm retouching are the images that are going into their sales sessions.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so they do the in-person sales after the fact.
Yep.
So I'm retouching the entire collection of images, and then that's what they're selling. But then I have them coming back and telling me the clients are buying all of them.
That's awesome.
Well, I had some input in that because I retouched all those images. So that always feels a little bit good that I did that.
That's a
but
cool
I have 3 clients that are like that. Yeah.
That's good.
That's a cool selling model. Is this a reveal wall or slideshow?
No, they
projection?
do the projection type reveal. Yeah.
So they show the images done.
Yes, done. And 2 of them, they typically do about 40. And I have one girl that's out in BC that does 60 images. So I retouch 60 of her images at $3 a piece.
Nice.
And it's boudoir retouching, so it's a little bit different. Like you are going for.
And you're in your element too, so.
Yeah, and so it's liquefy and blemishes and all that sort of thing, and then you use portraiture as sort of your final finish on them. So it's a little quicker because it's not as refined as fashion model retouching, right? Because you're doing batches of images.
Typical session for one of those photographers. How many can you do in an hour? Typical.
Well, it was funny because I was just talking to a friend of mine who is a big retoucher in the States who I was doing work for her because I was trying to figure out if I was being as productive as I should be. So I'm probably sitting at about 5 to 6 images an hour, right? Like I'm between the 10 to 15 minutes per image mark. Yeah. And she said that's where she is. And she's been doing it longer than me. So I'm probably right at the bunch. But when I have 60 images, that's a 10-hour day.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a long day. But then, some of the images don't take as much work as some of the other images do. And so it's kind of, a little bit of a trade-off happening there. But yeah.
And you enjoy doing that?
Yeah, I enjoy doing it. I actually find, and it's interesting because I'm photographing I'm retouching for other boudoir photographers, so I'm seeing all their work.
Right.
All their lighting.
And you're getting ideas too.
Yep. And one of the photographers that I'm working with, she has benefited. So we've moved from. she was doing it. She was doing all auto white balance. She's using all these weird lights and everything. So I've gone through technical teaching with her on how to use the Kelvin settings, how to, one of her lights, she's tossing it because she can't get anything consistent out of it because it's really crappy. So we've gone through all of that, and now I'm raw processing her images for her.
Oh, really?
As well, yeah.
Nice.
So it's been good for her because she's learning techniques through my retouching of her images, because I'm seeing issues in there, lighting issues, and white balance issues. Yeah. That's
interesting. I always felt that getting really good in Photoshop is an essential. You know,
isn't essential?
It is.
It is. It is. I think it is. But maybe more so as a boudoir photographer. I mean, you know,
maybe
because it's
maybe more so. I don't know. I noticed a lot of these. Well, you look at Maggie, for example. Her background is art. She went to art school. She's a very solid artist. She incorporated those skills into Photoshop and developed her style, which admittedly is very straightforward, but very refined and very distinct. It's not really off the wall like Ben Shirk or one of those other.
Like she doesn't do the crazy compositing, but she still does a lot of Photoshop. Like very.
She does a lot. She does compositing, but it's very elegant and very. It's very much like it's going to be a painting on the wall. So she's incorporating all those skills via Photoshop.
Yeah.
Doesn't use Painter, only Photoshop, and she couldn't do what she's doing if she couldn't do that. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, for sure. No, absolutely, for sure.
James, you spent how many hours chained to a computer doing Photoshop?
I know.
Countless hours.
James was the PS
and the
guy.
hourly whippings. Just opened up the door.
But it helped. I mean, it all helps.
Oh yeah.
Build the solid foundation for.
It certainly does. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like I'm still learning. Like I'm learning tons and tons of techniques, and like I use frequency separation, but I use it completely different from how a high-end fashion retoucher uses it.
Yeah.
I use it different. Yeah, and that's because I'm doing mass volume retouching, but it's so it's a tool, right?
I've been working that frequency retouching, and it's actually very, very neat. Only in the last 2 months.
Yeah,
and
it's a really cool tool to use.
I tried it too, but it blew all the lights out of the cab of the machine I was shooting. The wrong frequency or something.
Frequency separation and learning how to burn and dodge, but burn and dodge with very fine detail, because you can actually, like if stretch marks are a tough thing for women, and if they have the stretch marks along the line of their underwear, you get light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. The easiest way to get rid of it is burn and dodge.
Sure, yeah.
So you just burn and dodge those little details, and it's all one color. Yeah.
Smooth.
But you got to be fast at it, right? And
yeah.
so, you know, I got good actions, and the bang, 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 done, finished.
Yeah. See, now that's what we're talking about. Those skills are so essential, and a lot of it, when you go back to the very basics, and this is pre-digital, is the darkroom when you used to burn and dodge in the darkroom.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. Only this is a more refined detail, right?
Yeah, you got many more options and much more you can do. But I always felt, James, you really had an eye for burning and dodging.
Remember in the darkroom when you'd undo your film canister? Chemicals.
But you could take an image and burn it, and it'd just make it pop right out. So those are pretty powerful skills to have.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are.
Boudoir or jack legs or whatever else you're shooting underground, burning and dodging.
But it's nice because now even like with my wedding work, so if they get a wedding album, I can go through and I can like quickly retouch those images, and they get that little bit extra that they didn't get before, because now I have that skill and I'm very fast with it, right? Yeah.
Just to let you know, I'm going to have to go in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. Holy,
James is going to turn into a pumpkin.
I got to get to bed soon. I got to get up and go fishing.
Oh.
Hey,
Mr. Fisherman.
I'm taking some friends and their kids fishing tomorrow. So.
I'm going to stop the recording, and then we can talk about the next date.
Stop the recording because I gotta say something that I don't want on camera.